Hello Lakers fan, if you are one of those who are always up to date with the news about our Lakers, then you need to stay tuned to what is coming up on our Lakers news channel. I am preparing exclusive coverage on the possible signings of Lakers, and what I can tell you is that rumors are catching fire on social media, and if you don't want to miss any information, stay tuned. We have exclusive news every day. If you are a true Lakers and don't want to be left out of the news, be sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's go to the video. 4 smart free agency targets the Lakers should prioritize to fix their biggest weakness. After a first-round playoff exit at the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Los Angeles Lakers head into the offseason with a clear mission: fix the hole in the paint. Without Anthony Davis, who was dealt in the blockbuster trade that brought Luka to LA, the Lakers were exposed in the front court. Rudy Gobert feasted in the series, particularly in Game 5, where his dominance underscored just how badly the Lakers need a reliable center. With the 2025 NBA free agency looming, GM Rob Pelinka has acknowledged the obvious: securing a quality big man is a top priority. The challenge? Cap space is tight. A cap crunch that demands creativity. LA's financial situation will significantly limit what the team can do this summer. One of the biggest wildcards is LeBron James. If he opts out of his current deal and re-signs on a more team-friendly contract, it could free up much-needed flexibility. Until then, every dollar counts. Another important piece is Dorian Finney-Smith, who holds a player option. If he decides to stay, which many around the league expect, it further squeezes LA's already limited budget. That means high-profile names like Miles Turner, a longtime fan favorite, are off the table. The Lakers will have to think smart, not big, necessarily. The goal is clear: find affordable, impactful bigs who fit well next to Donny and help restore balance on both ends of the floor. Here are 4 names who fit the bill. 1. Clint Capela, the best bet, if the price is right. Capela will hit the market as an unrestricted free agent, and with Atlanta leaning into Onyeka Okongwu as their center of the future, it's unlikely Capela will remain with the Hawks. Even if he's no longer a 35-minute-per-night starter, Capela still brings real value: rim protection, pick-and-roll finishing, and rebounding, all essential next to Donny. He posted solid numbers last season: 8.9 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 1.0 blocks in just 21 minutes per game. If he's willing to sign using the mid-level exception, Capela could be the perfect solution: a veteran presence who upgrades the rotation without blowing up the budget. 2. Steven Adams. Grit, leadership, and toughness. Adams may be past his peak physically, but his value as an enforcer and leader is exactly what this Lakers team lacked against Gobert and the Timberwolves. He brings playoff experience, physical toughness, and doesn't shy away from contact, which is crucial for shielding Donny and LeBron from wear and tear in the post. If he's healthy and open to a team-friendly deal, Adams could be the kind of locker-room glue guy who changes the culture around the rim. 3. Kevin Looney. A steady, reliable plan B. If Capela and Adams aren't feasible, Kevin Looney is a strong backup option. While his role in Golden State has diminished, Looney remains one of the league's most efficient rebounders per minute, and he's a smart, unselfish defender. He's undersized compared to traditional centers, but he plays with grit and playoff-tested savvy. If the Lakers are simply looking to solidify their bench rotation with a trustworthy presence, Looney is a plug-and-play option who won't disrupt the offensive rhythm around Donny. 4. Jackson Hayes. A budget-friendly internal option. Yes, Hayes took heat after the playoffs. But context matters. He was thrust into a starting role he clearly wasn't ready for. As a backup, though, he's more than serviceable. He's athletic, has a massive wingspan, and finishes at a high rate, shooting 72.2% from the field. He also provides energy on the offensive glass and can finish lobs effectively. If the Lakers can keep him on a cheap deal and clarify his role as a bench big, there's still value in retaining him. More than star power, LA needs balance. The Donny trade brought offensive firepower to Los Angeles, but also left glaring gaps in size, defense, and toughness, especially in the paint. Now it's on Rob Pelinka to reshape the roster around those needs. This off-season isn't about making a splashy move. It's about being strategic, filling crucial gaps, and building a team that can contend without leaning entirely on stars. The Lakers don't need the biggest name, they need the right fit. A center who can complement Luka and help LeBron extend his title window. There's no room for error now. A defining off-season for Pelinka and the Lakers' timeline. This upcoming off-season could be a turning point, not just for the 2025-26 Lakers, but for the direction of the franchise as a whole. After all, how the team addresses the center position could be the difference between contending and collapsing. Rob Pelinka is now tasked with threading a very tight needle. He has to find impact players without the luxury of big spending, all while keeping the window open for a team that features two superstars with drastically different timelines. Luka is in his prime. LeBron James is running out of time. Pelinka himself acknowledged this delicate balance during his post-exit interview with the media. We've got to get more physical. That's the word that came up the most in our internal conversations. We need someone who can hold their ground in the paint. But we also need guys who fit our pace and spacing alongside Luka. Reactions around the league. Lakers in buy low mode. League executives and scouts believe the Lakers are entering this free agency with a clear buy low, high impact strategy, targeting undervalued veterans who can deliver playoff minutes without breaking the bank. An anonymous Western Conference scout told The Athletic, Capela and Adams make the most sense if they come cheap. But don't sleep on Looney. Teams that want playoff muscle should be calling him. He's a glue guy and a winner. Others in the league are closely watching the situation in Dallas, where the Mavericks may also be shifting their roster around Donnie's former backcourt partner, Kyrie Irving. Any ripple effects there could indirectly influence the Lakers' flexibility in adding complementary pieces, particularly if sign and trade options come into play. A crucial decision looms. What will LeBron do? All roads eventually lead back to LeBron James. His contract decision will be a massive domino. If he opts out and re-signs on a lower number, it opens a new world of cap possibilities. If he walks, or worse, retires, it would force the Lakers into a full re-evaluation of their competitive window. Sources close to LeBron's camp say he remains focused on contending, and early signs suggest he's willing to restructure, but only if he sees a viable path to another title run. That means Pelinka's next moves must send a clear signal. We're serious about winning now. Don't underestimate continuity. Despite the need for new faces, there's also growing sentiment within the organization about retaining Jackson Hayes, especially if no upgrades materialize. Lakers assistant coaches have reportedly vouched for Hayes' growth and work ethic behind the scenes, noting that with a more defined role, he could be a valuable energy piece off the bench. One front office insider said, "He's 24. You don't just throw that away if you think there's untapped potential. He wasn't supposed to start. That wasn't fair to him." The bigger picture, complementing Donnie and building a foundation. The reality is this: Luka changed the entire equation for the Lakers. His arrival brought new offensive possibilities, but it also brought new responsibilities. The team must now construct a roster that not only enhances his skill set but also protects him defensively and lightens his burden across 82 games. It's no longer about star hunting. It's about team building. And it starts with finding a big man who can anchor the paint, embrace his role, and help turn this team into a true two-way force. The names may not grab headlines, but the right one could change everything. JJ Redick sets bold off-season goal after Lakers' early playoff exit. JJ Redick isn't dwelling on the disappointment of the Lakers' early playoff exit. Instead, the first-year head coach is already turning the page and setting ambitious goals for what's ahead. Speaking during a press conference on Thursday, May 1st, Redick made it clear that the off-season won't be a time for rest, but for rebuilding and recharging. "I'm starting the off-season with one goal: to get us in shape," Redick stated. "Some guys were in phenomenal shape this season. Others, not quite there. That's the first thing on my mind. We need to be physically ready to compete for a championship." While he didn't name names, Redick's emphasis on conditioning comes after tough Game 4, where he didn't make a single substitution in the second half. The result? A clear drop in energy and efficiency in the final quarter, a turning point that allowed the Minnesota Timberwolves to pull away and take a 3-1 series lead. A promising first season at the helm. Despite the early playoff exit, Redick's rookie season as a head coach offered plenty of reasons for optimism. He led the Lakers to their first 50-win season since their 2020 championship run and helped the team avoid the play-in tournament, something they hadn't managed since that title year. He also made a bit of history, becoming the first Lakers coach in 8 years to win a season opener. And perhaps more importantly, he earned the respect of the locker room, including from LeBron James. "I thought he had an incredible first season," said the 40-year-old superstar. "It's tough to be a first-year coach, especially with the Lakers. But he handled it really well. He learned, he held us accountable, and he pushed us." Growing through the challenges. Redick's playoff inexperience did show at times. Before the win-or-go-home Game 5, he appeared anxious and reportedly needed to be calmed down. His delay in naming a starting five, partly due to a lack of available big men, was a sign of just how high the pressure had gotten. Still, Redick remains committed to growth, and he has the backing of his players. No matter what happens, JJ's going to keep growing, LeBron added. We've got a great coach on our hands, and is going to be great for a long time. With the right adjustments this off-season, Redick's next chapter could be even more compelling. Lakers own up to strategic mistakes, set clear off-season priorities. The Lakers' early playoff exit didn't just sting, it confirmed what had become increasingly clear throughout the season. This is a talented but unbalanced team. And nowhere was that imbalance more obvious than in the paint. After trading Anthony Davis in February, the Lakers were left without a true center in their rotation. When it came time to battle the Timberwolves in the playoffs, the lack of size and physical presence down low proved costly. A clear need, and a clear message. The morning after the elimination, Lakers GM Rob Pelinka didn't dance around the issue. We need a high-impact big man. And we need one now, he said, setting the tone for what's expected to be a pivotal off-season in Los Angeles. Like building a plane mid-flight. During his post-season press conference, Pelinka reflected on the challenges of reshaping the roster on the fly after the blockbuster trade that sent Davis to Dallas in exchange for Luka. Making a seismic trade mid-season is like trying to build a plane while it's already in the air, he said. Now we've landed. The plane's in the hangar. It's time to examine the parts, and no question, center is one of them. Pelinka acknowledged that while Donnie raised the team's offensive ceiling, the loss of Davis, LA's only consistent rim protector, created a structural weakness that Minnesota exploited relentlessly. Missed targets and limited options. Following the Davis trade, the front office scrambled to patch the hole at center. They came close, finalizing a deal with Charlotte for promising big man Mark Williams. The proposed package included Dalton Knecht, Cam Reddish, a 2031 first-round pick, and a 2030 pick swap. But when Williams failed his physical, the deal collapsed, leaving the Lakers with limited choices. That meant going into the postseason with Jackson Hayes as the only true center available. Christian Koloko and Trey Jemison III, both on two-way contracts, were ineligible. As a result, the Lakers ended their series against the Timberwolves with only one player over 6 feet 9 inches in the active rotation. At 6 feet 8 inches, 40-year-old LeBron James was the second tallest Laker on the floor. The Timberwolves took full advantage. In Game 5, Rudy Gobert dominated with 27 points and 24 rebounds. The rebounding margin? A staggering 54-27 in favor of Minnesota. Finding the right fit for Donnie. Pelinka emphasized that while the team needs a center, there's no one-size-fits-all mold. Instead, the Lakers are focused on identifying a big who complements Donnie's style of play. We'd love someone who's a lob threat, strong in the pick and roll, and who can protect the rim, Pelinka explained. But there are different types of centers who can be effective, stretch bigs too. We're evaluating all profiles. He also mentioned that Donnie has had great chemistry in the past with mobile bigs who can finish above the rim, hinting at the kind of athletic, vertical presence the team is now prioritizing. No more shortcuts in the paint. This isn't the first time the Lakers have faced criticism for their lack of depth at center. Even during Davis's time in LA, the absence of a reliable backup was a recurring concern. Now that he's gone, that gap has become a full-blown structural flaw. The 2025 off-season is an opportunity, possibly the last real chance in this current window, to fix it. Names like Jonas Valanciunas, Isaiah Hartenstein, Clint Capela, or even veterans like Steven Adams and Jacob Poeltl could be on the radar. Whoever it is, one thing is certain. The Lakers can't afford another season relying on makeshift solutions in the paint. Front office under pressure. Fans demand action. The pressure is now squarely on the Lakers front office. Fans, analysts, and even former players have voiced frustration over the lack of a contingency plan following Davis's departure. Many are questioning how a franchise of this stature could enter the postseason so poorly equipped in a key position, especially when the championship window, led by LeBron James and Luka, won't stay open forever. Social media has been buzzing with criticism, with hashtags like #GetEmCenter and #ProtectThePaint trending in LA sports circles just hours after the Game 5 loss. Sports talk shows across the country have echoed the same sentiment. The Lakers' inability to dominate the glass and control the rim was their Achilles heel, and it was avoidable. Insiders report that the front office is already engaging in early trade discussions and exploring free agency scenarios aggressively. The team's interest in adding a mobile, shot-blocking center who can also space the floor aligns with recent speculation linking them to names like Nic Claxton, Isaiah Stewart, and even a potential reunion with Dwight Howard if he returns from international play. Luka's voice gaining influence. Another significant development, Luka Doncic's growing influence within the organization. Sources close to the team suggest the front office is involving him more directly in personnel decisions, a sign of trust and a clear shift in team dynamics. Luka isn't just a generational talent, he's a player who sees the game 5 steps ahead, one team executive shared anonymously. We'd be foolish not to build around that. Donny reportedly emphasized the need for a center who can anchor the defense but also run the floor, suggesting a preference for a younger, more athletic big who can complement his fast-paced, high IQ style of play. Internal development still a priority. While the hunt for a starting caliber center is urgent, Pelinka and head coach JJ Redick have reiterated their belief in internal development as well. There's optimism that Christian Koloko, if healthy and fully integrated, could develop into a reliable rotation player. Redick also mentioned that Trey Jemison III, despite being on a two-way contract, impressed in practices with his physicality and effort. The Lakers are expected to make decisions soon regarding these players' future contracts, especially if bigger moves fail to materialize early in free agency. What's next? With the NBA draft combine and free agency on the horizon, the Lakers are entering one of their most crucial off-seasons in recent memory. In addition to finding a center, they'll need to address depth, perimeter defense, and potential long-term replacements for LeBron James, who, despite showing brilliance at 40, can't shoulder the same load forever. Pelinka ended his press conference with a promise. We owe it to our fans, and to this team, to get it right. There's no room for band-aids anymore. We're building for a championship.